All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful evening. We had another wild day in the market, and I had a crazy leg day. You're about to get Elon Musk in Doge live. So I said, you know what? We've already gone 2 days with a live watch list. We might as well keep it going on this channel. So yesterday we got a little bit distracted. We got to watch this State of the Union. And again, you're going to get a crypto event on Friday. Don't forget about that. But we have a couple of things now. The market is crazy, and I have a lot of pretty pictures to show you. And we even got to talk about what happened with the tariffs today. There was some developments, and you could see the market generally took it well. And now we are going to end the week with a bang with non-farms, and then even next week you're going to be going into Powell, and we have a lot of other events. So I got your watch list here. I'm hoping I could power through it, and then we will be able to hear Elon Musk. We want to save money for the government. I'm Elon Musk. I got to work on the Elon, but either way, Chatadonia, are you ready to vibe with me? So if you are watching the recap, you're going to have to deal with the live dynamic. But I love it, baby. What's going on, Chatadonia? Good evening. Are you ready? Are you ready? So look at this. This is it. Right now they're setting up. So I'm hoping we could go through the watch list, get you a little informed. Oh, what up, Malcolm? What up, X-Harp? See, I'm live. I know I'm live right now. Yeah. What up, Malcolm? Mayhem, Noah, Stevie, Kimo, Alex, Enzo. What up, RJ? What up, Mr. Malone? What up, Mr. Rillo? Dago, Ariel, Dos Nacho, baby. Yo say, Jordan, the blackest man of Babylon. Akaika, Alex, Enzo, baby. Nah, for real. Oh, that's how we doing it. That's how we doing. Man, how you want to throw 100 at me to start? I'm already on 100, baby. Actually, now I'm so dead from leg day. That's why we're doing this live. You know that? I just got really lucky. You got lucky too, bro. You know that? Because I did not want to do no watch list. I'm dead. I was like, I can't, bro. I'm like, and then there was this Elon event. So then I was like, oh, thank God. So at least I could talk to you. We're here live, and, I don't have to edit no videos. So that'll be a good thing, but all in all, baby, I got one more thing to show you. Do you want to see one more thing? I'll show you one more thing before we begin. I'm kind of mad about it. Otherwise, you need to contact me right away or I'm going to be pissed. I sound like Donald Trump. That's what I sound like. I'm going to tariff this guy. So if you follow me on Twitter, you already saw it. Man, tell me why Don Lemon really gonna make a TikTok talking about, go to my Don Lemon ass YouTube channel and let me tell you the truth. And I'm gonna give you the truth. And we're gonna really talk about what's going on with my ass in the background. I know damn well y'all white labeling Josh Answers. Y'all just remove the Jesus. Yeah. You flip it around a little bit. Yeah, that's it. I'm that fast. I know. You be Yeah, no. Yeah, fucking Don ass Lemon. Yeah, Don. I see you, Don. Thank you for the subtle shout out, though. So, yeah, if you don't contact me, I'm going to be pissed, Don Lemon. I want to interview you, Don. We need to talk, Don. Now we need to talk. First they banned me at Bloomberg. Now this shit. Either way, God is good, baby. Finger to the sky. I do it for the love of the game. They don't understand. The real Chads do. Y'all here right now. Y'all know what's up, baby. Y'all send it to him. What the hell? I know damn well he leave at Philo. Anyways, that being said, we had a very, very wild day. So there was a couple of wild plays. It was very choppy. And remember, yesterday was a very bad day. Then you had that random run up. Then you had this crazy drop. And then after hours, there was that rumor about Lutnick talking about there being, a delay or exemptions. And that carried into the morning. The China NPC was actually positive. They had the same 5% growth target. Everything was actually what the market expected, but the market wasn't disappointed. It's actually really funny. I'll give you a funny analogy. It's like when a girl knows that you're rich, even though you're ugly. I have personal experience from this. And what I mean by that is if you go and you remember China about a year ago, 6 months ago, when China was in the gulag, every time there would be an event and it came in as expected, they would sell China off by 20%. And they'd be like, it's underwhelming. It's very underwhelming. Now this time, now that China is one of the leaders here to start off the year and is up 30% on the year, it came in as expected, same exact guidance, same exact result, and then, yeah, it went up. So China ripped. So that was a good part of it on the underneath the surface. And then in the morning, Lutnick came on, and then he clarified what he meant. And he pretty much said that the tariff level, 25%, they're not going to go any lower on that, but pretty much they are willing to work with certain industries. And long story short, he pretty much said if you're compliant with the USMCA, if you're an automaker and you're not, and you know you're doing the right manufacturing, then there is no issue. So that's what the market got. That was pretty much some of the good news. And then we still were selling off. The ISM services data was actually really good. So even though in the ADP in the morning was really bad, but if you think about it, all day, we were essentially, all week, all 2 weeks, not all day, you had really bad data, and that was freaking people out. Today, prices paid went up. That wasn't good. But then the employment, the manufacturing, the orders, all of the ISM factors ripped. So that wasn't good for the bonds. That actually killed the bonds on the day. And then we kind of danced around, and then there was more headlines, more talks about the carve-outs, and then who's going to benefit off of it. And then we were able to come back up to the high end of where we were at yesterday. So long story short, I can't get my OBS. There it is. The market wanted the positive trade rumor, and it got a little bit of it. And generally, we had a nice big candle day, not as big as the other one, and it felt calmer, but you really just repeated what you had the other day before without setting a new low. So that's the first part of it. The other part about today was Germany, and this is actually really important. So Germany literally came out with a spending bill out of nowhere. Germany hates inflation since Weimar. This is literally one of our economic lessons, chapter 13, I believe, of political economy. And it's kind of crazy because this was their biggest bond move since 1990, and then out of nowhere, they're like, yo, we're going to spend $500 billion on defense. I would even argue if Germany was more debt-ridden, this would have been like a Liz Truss scenario. But all in all, there's a couple of main points. As far as today, this is definitely going to have implications in the future. I would not ignore that. But this should make you think about something. I mean, literally, long story short, if Germany starts spending a bunch of money out of nowhere when they really haven't, they have not done anything like this in decades, tell me, I mean, what is this? What should you be thinking about right now? I mean, it's right in front of you, but do you guys remember what I told you about end of the last year, beginning of this year? And I was telling you in a weird way, no matter what, we're going to get inflation from Europe. So I said, regardless of if Donald Trump succeeds or fails, you remember I was telling you about Europe inflation, and that was a factor to watch with whether it was the euro or the pound, but how they were kind of acting with their budgets and deficits, that was kind of a risk here. So that's what this reminds me of. That's what this has me thinking about, where you got to think in a certain way. This is inflationary on a global scale. Now, we'll see where things play out, but that's why you'll probably notice today, last 2 days, you've had the big tariffs. You've had all this drama. You've had the market get clobbered. Gold is still up. The dollar went down. So think about that. And that's why I'm saying this was like, they talked about it a lot, but you have to understand this is big. This isn't like, this is a big tectonic plate when it's all said and done. This could be a very big, wave of money heading towards Europe. So this is going to get interesting, but I think that all piled into today, and that's even partly why I would not let your guard down. And even then, part of today, I kind of already explained it with the tariffs, but again, they said that the tariffs pretty much, if you are compliant, if you're compliant with the USMCA, if you already have your factories or even your assembly, if you're doing it in a way that already was, accepted by the agreements in 2018, you have nothing to worry about. So this was good for the automakers, and it really didn't have any negative effect. Literally, it was a positive effect when the market started figuring this out, and then Press Secretary Lutnick, they pretty much said he'll spare certain industries. But again, do you guys remember, this is another obvious implication that you should have known. So remember when we talked about tariffs, and I was telling you, let me ask you this. Market flipped out, and then today they calmed down. They're like, oh, wow. Okay, Donald Trump is going to, even though he's going to keep 25% tariffs, he's going to be easy on some industries. What should this remind you of? Why am I telling you this is obvious? Do 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 do. It's not 2018. Good answer, and remember, we are really paralleling 2018 right now. So this was the chart from yesterday. That was very important. Even today, we bounced up a little bit. So it is kind of replicating here. I could get you an updated one, but that's not the answer. Chart you show. There's a chart I did show that I am thinking about. I'm saying this should be an obvious implication. So market freaked out, calmed down, and if you really even look at it, think about it. Freaked out, calmed down. Look at the last 2 days. You're barely up, but you did a lot of freak out, calm down, freak out, calm down. So it's obvious because, remember, that's why I showed you the chart with the pharmaceuticals and the strategic or the necessary goods or the critical goods list. That's why. So market took a relief rally at some point on a headline today on the fact that Trump wasn't going to tariff and make carve-outs, again, depending on who's already working with us or not. So that's what I'm saying. When it's all said and done, a lot of drama, this is all just going to boil down to what's critical and not. So still keep that in mind. But that is number 2. And then finally, number 3, my friends, this is the important factor. Are they live? Oh, no. Yeah, so they're doing the intro. Elon and them aren't out yet. So again, we are waiting for the Elon Doge thing to begin. I don't know. I guess they're doing it in Arizona. But the final key, you're not out of the woods. And I got a lot of pretty pictures to show you, but the point is the market is at a very crucial spot. And look at what I have written here. This is where it gets really big, actually. So if nothing bad happens, hypothetically in the next couple days to the next couple of weeks, this will be a short-term bottom. Yes, I said it. Otherwise, get ready for much bigger lows and more chop in the market, that Trump chop. So it's a pretty bold statement, wouldn't you say? I would say it's a pretty bold statement. So why am I saying that? Why would Josh be saying that? I thought this was interesting. I'm going to give you guys a blast from the past in a weird way. So depending on your badge level, give or take, some of you might be there. Are you ready for this? Do you guys remember when I started putting those lines on the chart? You remember when I started throwing up those horizontal levels?
Start by thanking
your
Attorney General
on the TD Ameritrade.
All of her leadership, all of her incredible hard work, and her commitment.
Shut up.
To you,
respectfully. Does that sound familiar? Yeah. So I don't know. Let me get this in. I want you to really see this. Yeah, bro. So the last time, like, where we were like, yo, take notice of these levels, right? It was like 2022. Believe it or not, almost 3 years ago. I know, bro. We're getting old. God bless your hairline. God bless your long term. That last time you did this 200-day moving average test, this was about 3 years ago. And remember, I was like, I'm not the biggest technical trader, but it's something to pay attention to as it doesn't happen quite often, right? So over those next couple of years, you had various movements, but you came back to that once at like the end of 2023, a year later, pretty much. Yeah, you remember all those levels. And then in the August flash crash, you tested it. And then, believe it or not, the QQQ, the NASDAQ, it is now hit and broke that level once again. That's what today and where we're at is all about. That's why I'm saying, in a weird way, we have a lot of events lining up. We have Jerome Powell. We're going to get into the end of quarter one, and hopefully we get better data, or again, more reflective data. But at the end of the day, next couple days, next couple weeks, however it decides to play around here, it doesn't mean we won't get chop, but this is a very crucial zone. So that's one level, right? But now here's the other one. This is now looking at like the last 2 weeks of like sells. You've actually had, I believe, one of the biggest nominal amounts of outflows on record ever. So in a weird way, you've had a big deleveraging of the market, aka a lot of people have either took money off the table by force or by choice. But even then, with all the money floating around, again, this was a very massive amount. Like, this is actually, you go back, even then, this is a 10, 11-year chart, but on record, the level of demand, or again, the amount of outflows was very, very large, right? And then, here's the final chart. And this one, believe it or not, is also a bottom signal, in the sense that this is the put to call ratio, or excuse me, total put volume. This is the put to call ratio, which has surged, and it's a little bit lower than other times. But this right here, the total amount of put volume. Total put volume now, it's like the second or third highest on record. The last 2 times it broke out, the market literally bottomed out. Just a couple days, a couple weeks later. So, my conclusion, given all the data, given this move, how it is, it's either you're either going to get a short-term bounce bottom in the next coming days or coming weeks. Otherwise, I think if this doesn't hold up, I think your knees are going to get taken out, or you're going to be getting knees taken out, pop back up, chop, pop. Oh, man, Richard Judge. Let's go, baby. God bless you. I got showing too much love, man. Long-term, short-term. Amen, baby. Still outperforming, and we stack, baby. We stack. Thank you, my friend. So, I hope y'all feel me on this, because you could either get an insane amount of, like, again, you drop that leads to bad chop, or if you break the 200-day moving average, any other time we had volatility, this was a very big deal. So maybe we should go back, but like, I don't know, man. I think I just have a fucked up memory, because do you not remember what it was like from this? I remember this vividly. I remember the 200-day moving average. I remember people freaking out. I remember how vulnerable the market felt to a degree. Remember, this is where we were buying Meta and shit, and you could have bought any other name still. Literally, bro, Tim Whitman was starting his long-term here, finally. You get what I'm saying? So it was a wild time. I vividly remember it. So what's the difference? There's a huge difference now that I'm telling you that. Do you know what it is? Beyond just the time. Well, we do know the levels. So this is why I don't know what's going to happen, but I would gear up and be ready. Because this time, we're finally, again, you're breaking this 200-day. In the last almost, 3-4 years, you've only had this happen 2-3 times, and you don't break it. But last time, it was very vulnerable. The market was down, so it's not showing you the chart. But last time you were here, this is when the SPY was not looking good. Even in 2023, you were still recovery zone. You had banking crisis. The market was a lot more vulnerable here. And then this time, this doesn't fucking count. It was a flash crash because of Japan. That lasted, and that led to your biggest drop in one-day rally ever, and then look at where you're at now. So this time, we're doing this game. Obviously, you have the news, the tariffs, all of that, but this time you're a lot higher. You're not as vulnerable. I would argue you were more vulnerable here. AI didn't exist. NVIDIA wasn't up. Bank crisis. There's a lot of things. Inflation was still up, for crying out loud. You know what I'm saying? So I think you're way better off here, but now you're testing that level. So get ready. I think, like I'm saying, this was either a freak out and we get a little bit of a bottom. Everybody, like always, they buy all these puts. We bounce off the 200-day. This is going to be a nice pickup, and then you take off like every other time you've bounced off the 200-day. Or if this really does fail and you break this kind of holy grail of technicals for some people, which, again, this has only occurred a couple times, then, yeah, you might actually, maybe this starts to change the overall shape of this rally, and actually maybe it ends the rally. Maybe it ends the bull market, gets you into a correction, and then we level out until policy clears the way. So don't be too scared. Be subscribed, because we'll be there live, man. We'll be there live and direct. But those are your main keys. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Again, not much data. The real data is going to be Friday. You're going to get Fed speakers, and we'll get a couple of events. So we'll see where it all takes us. But let us get into the plays. So right off the bat, baby, play number 1, Beto and Bitcoin. Any sort of Bitcoin play? I don't have any. MSTR kind of led the rally this morning, but Lutnick said today that, quote, this is a direct quote, he definitely thinks there's a Bitcoin strategic reserve. That is a direct quote. And he says that he thinks the plan will be unveiled at the White House Summit on Friday. So again, the White House Summit on Friday, this will be the White House Crypto Summit, and this is a big deal. Never have you had anything of this nature at the White House, so people are already putting out rumors. Tomorrow might be a burn one day if we get any recovery. If people are feeling good, maybe buy the rumor, sell the news, buy Bitcoin and sell the plays as we get into your boy, the Bitcoin Summit. So that is play number 1. And then play number 2, SMG. So I really like this one. Do you guys know what SMG is? This one's kind of funny, but this one is Scott's Miracle Grow. So for the farmers out there, or my potheads who grow their own weed. But SMG, fertilizer. So they did good today, too. They killed it yesterday. This was actually on the watch list yesterday, but I didn't have time to get to the plays. But they had a huge upgrade, and pretty much people are talking about how they don't get exposed to tariffs, even though they do a lot of other stuff. They don't have tariff exposure, believe it or not. They're a value play. People are saying long-term recovery. This was on my long-term list. At one point, we were talking about SMG, then they cut their dividend, or then they bounced and did a lot. So I think it's at an interesting spot. Could even be if you grow your own weed, you could buy this for the long term. If you actually buy Scott's Miracle Grow, this is a company most of you know about. It's down. It's up already a little bit, but I think that's a decent value play. Still, after the dividend cut, they pay 4.2. So you tell me, but yeah, that one has been getting some attention lately. And think about it. The last couple of days, with all of the value, and when tech sells off, you've literally beginning some of these value names going up. So that one could be a decent one to watch, but that is play number 2. And then play number 3. This has to do with options. So do you guys want to watch a gameplay video? Would you like to watch a gameplay video? I call this one's called Gone in 60 Seconds, featuring Yosh Cage and Carolyn Levitt. Here it is.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, here. It's a little choppy because I got ghetto VLC player or something. Yeah.
You know, the president addressed that last night, I think. Again, as I speech.
All right. So watch out. You got a positive comment here. Market's kind of taking it slow. We're in there, but technically open to hearing about additional exemptions is bullish. If you want to make a play, you might have one. Oh, actually, I have one. It's expensive, but watch this one. It's $20. It's 28. GM Donald to exclude car makers. Yeah, that's old. They don't feel me. Right here.
Look at this.
Not a reco. You'll lose money. Watch this one. Just keep. I think at 20, this is a good price.
That's as easy as
$5.85 for the daily. That gets you to yesterday's high. It's still mad far away. So watch that, though. This is expensive at 28. $20, 19. Just keep this one on watch. That took a minute. So I wanted you guys to see it. I've been talking about the options. And they're like, oh, why you're a millionaire? Why you take things personal? Yeah, I'm a millionaire, and I'm like, yo, $20 is expensive. I don't want to hear it. Okay? That was that play. And then the day before, I also gave you guys another option to watch, and they did another like 700%. So I've been calling out these options so you can learn, but here is the deal. Because the one yesterday, even today, because that one was expensive given it was a daily, but that play killed it. It was actually amazing, and that's what I was saying. Watch it. It was moving around a lot, but the whole point, I really want you guys to understand this, and I just want to help you if you are trading these. Number 1, remember, if you are gambling, anything that is not long-term is gambling. But Josh, that's not gambling. Yes, shut the fuck up. It's gambling. That's it. It's very simple. I don't have time. If it's not long-term, it's gambling. Do you understand that? You just have to accept it in your heart. It's okay. It's the first step is acceptance. Okay? You have to be able to accept it. Don't worry. The words won't hurt you, but it is. That's it. If it's not long-term, it's gambling. Okay? So just don't forget, when you're gambling, you shouldn't be using more than 10% of your long-term. You see, I'm not telling you not to gamble. I'm telling you how to dose it, sadly. So that's terrible. But I do think you will stay alive and you will not do anything of detriment if you are controlling yourself and putting 90% of your money in the long term. They don't feel me. Anyways, that's the first thing you got to understand. Second, both of these plays, and there's one thing about it. One, the timing. And when I'm telling you about some of these plays, or when I'm like, I'm making a play, again, today, that play, the timing was wicked. So it was right here. So it was literally right before the takeoff. We got the headlines. And again, we were kind of late on some of the other ones, but, oh no, it was right here. It was one of these. But no, it was, this one. This was the other one. We actually even had the play from earlier that went up. There was multiple plays, but this one and the one yesterday, the timing was one thing, but then getting closer or further from the money. And literally, I gave out 2 plays yesterday, and I said, watch the difference. One of them was about $30 or 20 or 30, but on short term, that's expensive. And then the other one was like $9. And I said to watch both of them. And then the market ripped. So guess what? One of the plays went up a couple 100%. The other one only went up 30%. Why? Because it had to do with closer, further from the money. On these short-term plays, especially with the news, if it only has a day, boy, you better get in the money. Even if it has an extra day, you still got to be closer to the money. And as it gets further or not, it changes a lot. And essentially, with a lot of these plays, here is a very simple rule. If you're going to pay higher up front, if it moves in your favor, I wouldn't say it's easier to profit, but it's easier to get a bigger gain if you are closer to the money. You will at least get paid if it moves in your direction. So if you are closer to the money, it's going to cost you more up front, higher risk. And if it moves 0.25%, 0.5% in your direction, you're going to be racking up the profits quickly and easier, right? That's what happened on that one. That's why the one play that was closer to the money at the same time as buying the out of the money, that play went up hundreds of percent. However, the other one, the reverse, is what? Lower upfront cost. And then by having a lower upfront cost, you only spend, again, one of them you're spending $30, you're spending $40, and you could lose that in a day or two. Yeah, Bitcoin's popping right now. You got a wick.
Electoral process, not just some guy who issues executive orders.
Nah, they ain't talking about it yet. But yeah, Bitcoin's moving. But the other one, $9. So think about it. If you're wrong, so let's say we buy those plays and we're wrong, right? If we're wrong, the one closer to the money, you lose $30, $40. You would have made more if you were right, but you now have a bigger upfront loss. The one that's out of the money at the same time, even though it's perfect timing, if you're wrong, you're only going to lose $9. You could essentially make that play 4 times compared to the other one. So it's actually kind of a huge difference if you really think about it. But that play only made 30%. So you only made $3, $4 off of it. Whereas the other one, you could have done $40 into like $200, $300 more. You see the difference? But then again, if you were wrong, you would have lost 40 versus losing 9. So this is something that you got to think about. And this is how, when you are going over the plays, depending on how confident you are, depending on the type of headline, depending on how late or early in the day, these are things you should consider. So even in a weird way, later in the day, I'll just give you a tip, closer to the money. Earlier in the day, cheaper, lower upfront risk, further from the money. Does that make sense? Why? Earlier in the day, put $9, put $3, right? If it has time and it works in your favor, even if it's smaller, at least you're in the game, less capital. Again, you're accounted, and then if you're wrong, you still have all your money. And then vice versa, news headline later in the day, if that thing's about to pop, it's late, it already decayed, you want to get closer to the money and profit off of that quick move. Ta-da! So yeah, that's all it is. We made a bunch. Again, I did SPY. I made some TLTs free today. Weed. There was weed news. I flipped the QQQ, the K-Webs. Those went up 100% today. You would have made like 300%, I think, if you held it, actually. What was it? It expires on the 7th. I just pussied out because I make a lot of plays. I've been doing a lot of plays. I'm making them all free. I think at K-Web I already did make free, but I said, screw it. I don't want them to expire because, again, when there's not much time, one fall. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, I whiffed it, I think. No. Yeah, I sold them at 20. Yeah, you would have got another 200%, 300. But, yeah, they were great. That was the play we talked about earlier about the NPC. Again, flip the QQQs. Again, I hit all my plays practically, but I sold them early. I sold my QQQs for like 30%. I would have made more. I did that. I did the play. I only made like 100%, and then I got another like 100% on $20. But I played the plays good, but I didn't execute to maximum, and I sold really early, but I did not lose on those. So a lot of back and forth either way, Chattadonia. It was a lot of fun. And now let's see where we go from here. Do you have any questions? Is this actually going to happen? Do you guys know? Because I feel this was supposed to start literally an hour ago.
Provide programming as required by Medicare guidelines.
And I don't know what they're doing. I thought Elon was going to be here. They said it was a town hall, but it don't seem like.
From a national position with the wheelchair games.
I don't know if it's Elon. I don't think he's going to come, to be honest.
Palliative music therapy in the infusion clinic with veterans who have cancer has been canceled. A virtual music therapy group, something I started to address the needs of homebound veterans.
Oh,
that
wow.
has been canceled. A number of other programming has
Damn.
been canceled as well.
She's saying y'all cancel my shit.
Hopefully it will return, like therapeutic guitar, a music ensemble, and other programs. In total, last week, 84 veterans did not get to go to their music or recreation therapy appointments. 84. These senseless cuts are hurting real people. It's shameful that we aren't supporting the women and men who volunteer to serve in the military, and it's shameful that we are not providing the care.
I kind of want to hear it, but do you have any questions, you guys? We could do both. Let's hear it. And then long-term, if you'd like a long-term update, we could do that as well. As long-term went up today, finally. Yeah, I don't think Elon's going to be here.
Thank you so much, Kristen. That obviously was incredibly impactful.
Add more cash,
Next
side
up,
hustle.
We have Karen Potter.
You don't, dude, real estate, man. It's the best side hustle with a lot of upside.
Good evening. And
Fuck
thank
around
you
and make
for
$1 million.
being here tonight. My name is Karen Potter. I'm a proud Arizona native, a new mom, and the wife of a dedicated firefighter. I've also served currently as the
Someone
Arizona
asked my
representative for the
Horizon
Southwest Energy
timeline for the
Efficiency
bottom.
Project, or
I don't know,
SEP,
dude. A couple
nonprofit
days or a
dedicated
couple
to
weeks.
helping everyday
That's the
Arizonans
problem. We
save
have
money
pretty
on
much, you have
utility
Powell on the
bills while
19th.
building a stronger state economy.
So you have Powell on the 19th, and that'll be the SEP. So assuming non-farms, CPI, and Powell are in a problem, not to mention whatever else Trump does, even steel tariffs on the 12th, you know, and then we'll lead into April, assuming the market is able to, like, brush that off and, like, trust the rally, and then the bonds stay low, and then you don't get any craziness, then I think, again, that could be a couple days, a couple weeks, but if we break the 200-day solidly and things get bad in the next couple days or weeks, that will be your answer.
Improving our daily lives. It means using less energy to achieve the same results, whether it's
Good question.
keeping our homes cool.
You have a
keeping
house? What
meals,
you got?
Or powering essential devices.
And bro,
by making our homes
I don't know if
energy
you guys
efficient,
heard it,
families can
but,
reduce
like, for real,
reduce pollution,
dude,
and
there was a Chad the other day, Carson, and again, after all of my long-term propaganda, and I was telling you guys, I said, listen, man, even if you have this small long-term, you play your cards right. If all situations work, you can literally use less than half of your long-term, get a house, even with this account right here with $27,000, use half of it, get a crib, and walk away with $500,000 of assets this year. Maybe more, maybe less. And, yeah, there he is. Look it, he's in the chat. And, bro, last week he was like, all right, Josh, I'm down. And he emails me. And I told him the process that I told all of you. I put him in touch with the agent. And then, bro, homeboy gets a 0% or 0 down loan, 4% mortgage, and the house has equity. That's why he pretty much used the equity to get a better interest rate from the builder. So here's the kicker. Not only do I want you to go get a house and do all that, but Carson inspired it. I didn't really realize this. I didn't realize how many areas, like good areas, qualify for that USDA loan. So you do have to live in the house. There are restrictions. You will need certain income requirements. But, dude, I didn't realize it. That's why I said so. He was able to now, he's getting a $280,000 house. He did not touch his long-term. He's actually getting back $2,000 at closing cost. And, yeah. So go look. If you have a long-term and you live outside, pretty much if you don't live in a big city, you might qualify for the USDA loan. And now we're talking 0% down. So that means if the paperwork, the job, everything else aligns, we're talking about, yeah, you got to fucking, it's a steal of a deal, bro. I love it. I think it's a great opportunity. So just another tool in the tool belt. But yeah, man, get the damn long term, bro. And here's the long term. It did good. Again, we've had a very wild month. You know, we hit an all-time high a couple weeks ago. Yesterday, we were plummeting 240. Now we're back at 244. So, yeah, the chart is going to bounce back. It takes a day to update. Still up, though. Last 3 months, very good. Again, year to date, we're still outperforming very, very nicely, actually. So, yeah. You could refinance them. You do have to live there. But, yeah, email me, man. If you live in one of these areas, USDA loan, or if you want to check and have a long-term, let's go, bro. Like I said, I already saw thousands of you get long-terms. Now we're going to get both long-terms and cribs. Not all of them. No, dude. This is a new build. You don't need a... That's what I'm saying, bro. I was shocked. I didn't realize that the USDA loan, it's really like there's some area... Dude, he got a new construction in South Carolina. It's a good fucking area. That's why I was like, no fucking way that was a USDA loan. Because out here in San Diego, you got to go live in the sticks. That makes sense. Like, again, I live in a big city. The big city places, they're hard to get. But, yeah, bro.
Restore and expand these resources and ensure that every Arizonan, no matter
hand washer dryer new for, but that's 10 grand right there. 5 grand. All depends.
Thank you for your time.
All right, before Sandy starts, we're going to have next up Jessica Leach, and then Dr. Jill Gibson and Dr. Steve Brown. Go ahead, Sandy.
Good evening. My name is Sandy Barr. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the director for Sierra Club's Grand Canyon chapter, which is the Arizona chapter. I've lived in Arizona most of my life. I love
episode
Arizona.
My mind's been blown. What's it about?
I love the people. I wanted to thank you all for being here for Arizonans and for people across the United States, and for pushing back on this harmful agenda that has resulted in the thoughtless firing of thousands of people, including those who
So,
care
dude, I'm
for
telling you,
our
do you guys want tin?
And
I'm telling you right now.
Because Arizona is
Mark my words, if there is going to be a recession and a huge economic slowdown, it is going to be a result of government demand falling off a cliff. Just like last time, government floods the money and says, look at everything but the government. I'm telling you, bro, it's related to what we're watching here. I'm telling you, even right when I started bringing this up, that's when we started really like dropping, like, bro, you got to really think about it. Government demand, like, I don't think people really realize how much of the economy was like low-key being stimulated from all of these government employees, but also all of what the government was buying. So not only like think about the employees, all these people getting paid, and then whatever they're fucking buying, right? But now think about the employees who were in charge of divisions, and their job was to buy shit for the government, bro. And they were just buying shit. Think about it, all from all over, whether it's Post-it notes down to heavy machinery. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a huge part. But that's what I'm saying. Nobody's really like, they're subtly getting, they're like, oh, Washington, D.C. No, everywhere, bro. That's what, again, they're going to probably say, oh, it's just like last time, it's regional. No. But this is something that I think is actually a real big deal. That's where I'm like, could move real estate. That's why I'm telling you, just watch unemployment. Like low-key, like real unemployment. If the data starts to normalize, if we could get real data that we could actually trust, just wait till that normalizes, because, or even then, once the unemployment gets bad, that's it. I think that is the real answer, but I think a lot of people are not realizing kind of the domino effect. Because think about it, and then the employees don't have as much money, the government contracts, they're buying less, and then again, that begets that affects the companies, the corporations, and then it's this whole little doom loop for a little bit. But that's the thing I'm worried about, government demand being the silent elephant in the room that really either stimulates or adds a drag to the economy. Everyone brings up a lot of other things, but we've watched a lot of resilience. I really think that might be the gain or decline at the margin, whether or not we actually like hold up after kind of a purging of government demand and employees. I think it's going to be really interesting. Long term, it has a positive effect if you balance the budget, but like I'm saying, it's still one of those things where it's like, wait a minute. Yeah, that's my tin. I don't know. You tell me. Yeah, inflation would go down, but then you'd have like a real recession. Like you'd have like, again, like companies guiding lower, people getting fired, like real estate prices going down. Like it would actually be the end of a bull market. That's what I was saying the other day. Like all these people are like, yeah, let it crash. Like some people are like, we need a 1970. And I'm like, or they're like, we need deflation. I'm like, you don't need that. Because you got to realize, like, if we get real deflation and the bull market ends, you're going to go 3-4 years, maybe like 2 years in this environment where nothing moves. Like, you know what I'm saying? Where, like, news comes out, events, earnings, and people aren't going to buy shit. They're not going to be like today where they just buy everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it would be like maybe a lost decade if it got really bad. But, I mean, again, I said this months ago, years ago. I said the scariest thing in the world is that a lot of times we do what China does. And you already have a modern economy that has already went through deflation. China. It's the same thing. Just like I'm telling you the bull market would end, think about China. Dude, they used to gamble and their market went crazy. After that clapping in the last couple of years, you can't get a motherfucker to buy a stock even if Xi Jinping forced you to. It's actually insane. Their culture changed. They're not like, that's it. Everybody's a wounded soldier. It's not, no one's like, oh yeah, let's buy shit. Oh yeah, let's go buy an NFT. Let's go buy a Solana. Let's go no. So if we did have that sort of, you know, like real recessionary slowdown, you wouldn't have inflation, but you would have a very, you know, slow, different economy and market, funding market, all of that.
My pronouns are she, they, and I'm the CEO for Prisma Community Care, the artist formerly known as the Southwest Center for HIV and AIDS.
So this is the DOGE Townhall, and I really thought Elon was going to be here.
Not limited to my community, right? I don't want to ask everyone in the room, you know, to verify that everyone's having sex, but I think it's a pretty safe assumption that 75% of the room probably is, which means, yes, which means
SCX. This is weird. I don't want to talk to you about sex. I'll talk to anybody else. I don't want to talk about you about sex. That's it. Just don't talk to kids about it. I think that's the part too. The government would do QE again. I mean, it depends. You need ammo. You need a lot of other things. I think I'm on the right chain. Look at, they made this seem like it was about to be, I really thought we were going to get Elon in like a DOGE town hall and it was going to be exciting. All of that. But nah. New York hoarding all the gold. Yeah, I mean, something's up. I still don't know what it is. And like, sure enough, even in the midst of all that happening, the market just had a freak out. And then now we're at the 200 day. So yeah, I still don't know why or like what's going on or the full implication, but yeah. CLF or X. Yeah, with everything going on, the tariffs, again, steel tariffs on the 12th or the 16th. I think people are forgetting that. That's right around the corner. So, yeah, there's that. But I'm not for the long term. I'm not a big fan of commodities or any of those. Oh, yeah, where's the futures? How is everything doing? Bitcoin had that little rep. Bitcoin's about to break out again. Peso's doing good, or the Canadian loonie. Peso, not bad. ES is flat. NQ down by a quarter. The Japanese yen down. Yeah, very calm. Very calm. Yeah, and then the long term, if you go in the trading fraternity, the last video I made is literally about the long term and stacking cash. I would love to talk about it again if you guys would like. And I could go over the portfolio if you have any questions, but let me just make this very clear. If you have a portfolio that looks very similar to mine, and you have, 2.5% cash, I would keep stacking. The risk so if you're outperforming, you got good dividends, you got good growth, you're already doing good in this environment right now, I'm telling you, the risk reward, if you have a little bit of cash, 2.5 is nothing. The risk to reward to stack up cash right now, I don't think you're going to miss out on much. Again, Hershey's, you could have locked in a good yield and it went up like 20%, but at the end of the day, I still think in this environment, remember, it grows your yield. That's the part that I like. So you got to realize, look at the funniest part about this. Oh, it doesn't tell me how much I'm getting, but I'm getting yield on this cash. So this is going to keep going up, and low key, it's a good risk to reward. We'll be ready for whatever happens, and then we're still like low key getting dividend income. So I'm not too worried about it, but otherwise, if you have a lot of cash, I would be buying value. And now I will give you a warning right now. Just because you have a lot of cash and I'm telling you to buy value, let me put it this way. If you just started a long term and you're like, okay, I need to build my long term, I have a lot of cash, Josh said to go to value, right? And all you buy is Intel, MPW, Walgreens, and then Snapchat, I'm going to punch you in the face for your own good. Does that make sense? Why? Why would I physically assault you in that scenario? Not diversify. Yeah, that's why. Low quality. So that's the problem, and that's where you're going to have different. This is your hard part, starting right now, because value's good. Again, I like the UPS, the Pfizer, but like UPS, I think is value, and it's a good name, and it's close to being there, but they're struggling. You don't need to find the diamonds, but you will need an anchor. So you don't want to just buy the names you know about that are all doing bad. Yeah, you don't want to just buy only value traps. The ideal, we're going to need an anchor in the portfolio. Ideally, a very high quality name, not too cheap, not too expensive. I mean, so I'll show you the one that I like. Procter & Gamble. This is what I told Tim Whitman in 2023. So he wanted to start his long term. It was around here. And I was like, yo, just get Procter & Gamble. This is a great company, but look, it's higher. But maybe like McDonald's would be the one I'm talking about right now. It's still up. But you want the name that like, dude, this is toothpaste, deodorant. Everybody knows and uses Procter & Gamble, right? And it was down. It was still up on the multi-year, but it was like down a decent percentage at the time. It was at like one of these lows. That's why I was like, 2020 levels, if you really look at it, it's a good name. It's not going anywhere. It's value, but it wasn't like, again, like I'm saying, it's not like a name that's at like a 10, 20-year low. Although I like some of these like Pfizer, you do want one of these anchor stocks that is good, not overpriced, but you also want some like good momentum with it. You see what I'm saying? So just make sure you need one of them at least. You just don't want to get a bunch of these that you don't want to buy all the down names in value and then you buy names that are underperforming, and then all they do is underperform. We're going to diversify, but you want high quality and you want good names. So don't get that twisted. That's the only worry I got after the last video, because a lot of people are like, I want to start a long term, but then they want to go buy the names that are like every name they want to start with is down like 70%, 50%. You don't want to be, we're going to need a good quality name in there. Yeah, diversify, not diversify and only buy the dead ones. Amen. Amen. Long term, dude, you guys got to deposit. Shit, man, if you got a job and you live in South Carolina, you could get a house for $0 down. Even everywhere else in America. Look, it went up $360. Again, it took us 2-3 years to get above 10K, saving $200, $300 a month. And in one day now, your portfolio moves as much as you would save from your $36,000 a year job. Ain't that something? Pretty cool. This is why your money can make more and outpace you in the long run. And think about it. You made 36 grand a year. You did this, spent your years, finally got this amount. Now your low-key investments are fluctuating. 1% now is what you would deposit in a month. Capital will outpace all labor. How about Whirlpool? So if I were you, this is what I was saying on the video, go to my portfolio since I own Whirlpool and start with the names that I'm down on. So Whirlpool, I am down by 5.8% now. What does that mean? I wanted to say green light, green light, green light, but then I don't want to become Jim Cramer. But yeah, I like it. That I can fuck with. I already have it. We got dividends. We were up 40, 30% on it not too long ago. But yeah, I like it. I'm down. I would wait a little bit for me, so I'm not buying it again yet. But if you wanted a starting position, I think it's great right here. It's cheaper. I do think Whirlpool, it's not the diamond you're looking for. It's a good name. I do think they're solid, but again, they're also going through a recovery story, and they have a high-yield dividend. See what I'm saying? But I'm a big fan. Big fan. So I like that now. You let them run, yeah. I average up pretty much once I run out of options. So think about it. Every year, bro, little by little, we've had a goal. We've been literally last 2 years, my goal was dividends. You guys know that? Do you guys realize how crazy that is? Every year we've had the long term even. We have increased our dividends by at least 50% or 100% every year. So we're making $300, $500 a year. Then we did $1,000. And the next year we did $2-3 grand. And the next year we did $6. So it's like, bro, it's fire. But I've had goals with a lot of things, right? And again, I was stacking up Snapchat at one point, stacking up Airbnb. Then we were stacking up MO, and we were buying Abivai. And Abivai was a name I averaged up on. So if we are trying to accomplish our goals and I'm noticing everything is up or the names that are down, we don't really want, and we're there. If we run out of options pretty much, and I start to have too much cash, or there's a lot, and it seems like we should be making a move, then I'll start to average up into the names that I like and the names that I'm good at. Usually Abivai is probably going to be the one. I'm going to average up into the names I got size on, if anything. But yeah, I know that's the thing. So this year, unfortunately, because we went so hard on dividends, I said it, this year I'm not going to prioritize my dividend growth. So that's going to be, if it happens, it happens. I still love dividends, and I think it would be nice, but at the end of the day, it's no longer my priority for this year. I think we did good. I think we stacked up on it, and I think we need cash because it's low and we're overweight on equities. And at the end of the day, if a dividend comes my way, I will always have the option to get it, and I could use the cash. But for now, I don't want to I don't want to constrain myself in the same way that we were trying to get them all when we got a lot of the good ones. So here's the deal. This is the cool part. I started this year at $6,000 a year in dividends. From my drip alone, I'm already at 62.43. So not bad, because think about it. Just off of my reinvestment, I almost made 10% of my dividends. Or 5% dividend growth. It's like 3.74. Not bad. So I'm down. So I think even then we might be at like 7,000 by the end of the year by default. If we go at this pace, I believe. Give or take. So we'll see. But at the end of the day, we will find our diamond. But yeah, stack up the cash. And I like Whirlpool though. It's down to 660. Wow. It's crazy. What's your deposit again? Because again, dude, even the small account, dude, I think it gets $600, but like, dude, that blows my mind. Because I'm like, dude, you're $300 a month. If you're getting $600 a year in dividends, what? You're getting oh, dude, you're almost tripling it. Oh, every 2 weeks. Okay, yeah, there you go. So yeah, you got 1 free year or 1 free month a year. I was like, no fucking way. But yeah, that's why I'm like, because it took us 5 years on this one, but we have 2 extra months a year now on the where's the TD? That blows my mind. Where is it? So that means we're saving $3,600 a year with the $300, right? But technically, with our dividends now, we're literally getting what, 30 or 4,200? Yeah. So you're getting 2 extra months a year. So you have 14 months of saving for every 12 months that you deposit. Oh, 585. I swear it was at 600. But either way, I'm content. Oh yeah, next 12 months. Oh, 590. Boo. Ta-da! So, Chad, on that note, I don't know if you guys want to listen to them. I don't want to listen to the Doge thing. Don Lemon, if you're still listening to me, we need to talk. Okay, all of you people at CNBC, you guys know that. You know, everybody been white labeling me for years, and then they just ban me. You know, and y'all think I'm crazy, and you guys, I'm like, hey guys, that's really fucked up. You guys don't know that's really fucked up, especially when I'm like, hey, I'll do it for free, and I just want to help the people. And you're like, nah, let's fuck them over. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they don't want to make me Intel CEO. Ha. On that note, Chattadonia, God bless you. God bless America. And did I tell you I have a surprise for you? I'll give you a hint. I will give you a hint. It's not Don Lemon. I'll give you a hint, okay? I'll give you a hint. I don't want to give it away, but you deserve a hint. You're here right now, okay? I don't want to give it away. Just, I think 9 p.m. Pacific time. Just be awake. Just be awake. Just be awake. That's all. So I love you. God bless America. God bless Chattadonia. What is this? Oh my gosh. How many? Is that why? Dude, this is crazy. They put me everywhere with Don Lemon. That's hilarious. But finger to the sky. That's the difference. Jesus Christ is king, you guys. That's why. I'm all independent. No label, no nothing. Don't let him They want the info. They want the hard work. They want to cut out the Jesus. They want to cut out the real, get to the truth of the point and educate. You know what I'm saying, bro? That's how they really be, bro. Finger to the sky, baby. To God be the glory. And to each and every one of you, man, you work hard, okay? And God has a plan for all of you. See, this is why they don't have this on big money TV. They don't want you, bro, for real, bro. When you lay your head down, I tell you this every time, bro. Just you're blessed. And enjoy what you enjoy and do what you enjoy, bro, okay? Okay, and understand, you need a fixed goal, a fixed vision. You got to be ready for the composite of better, good and bad at the same time, bro. You have it in you. You know that, right? But, dude, if you can't appreciate it, you can't tap into it. That's why I'm saying, bro, go to bed tonight with a little tingly feeling. You got something. That's why. You should know that. You blessed, bro. They should have got you already. Why are you still here? So, Chattadonia, I love you. God bless America. And veterans, thank you. We would not be here without y'all. So I really appreciate y'all, man. And yo, bro, if Don Lemon, if you're listening, can we get $6 billion for the veterans? You don't remember I was telling y'all? I said that on Friday. I said, I don't know who's listening, but I said, hopefully one day, I know somebody listening one day, and I hope you're just like, fuck it, let's give $6 billion to the veterans. Let's do it. If you do it, I'll stop being an asshole. I promise. If you give $6 billion to the homeless veterans, I will stop being an asshole. I promise. I promise. Fair? I'll give you all. I'll show you the newswire. I'll give y'all whatever. I'll let you steal my work for another decade. How about that? You give $6 billion to the veterans, homeless veterans, and I'll let you steal my work for another decade. That's a fair deal. So thank you, veterans. I love you. But that's it. We need to not shut up about it. You know why? You never know who's listening. And the veterans deserve it. Fuck all this bullshit. All about the veterans, baby. Why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't? Where's Kanye? Somebody. Where's Elon? $6 billion. Pocahontas. Don Lemon. Anybody could get this. Let's go. So thank you all. I will see you tomorrow morning, God willing. Have a wonderful evening and peace out. Horn.